Okay now, finally, we've reached the actual true blue final Pokemon Legends Arceus team. At least for now. Unless some other delusional gimmick for a team in this game, which I definitely wouldn't count out down the line, but for now, this is it. Today, we're going to start off with Turtwig, and make this Torterra team the best that we can. I'll quickly cover the rules one last time. There will be no repeat Pokemon on this team that has been on any other best team thus far, as I want to keep things entertaining and allow you guys to remain engaged. Don't expect a Gardevoir or Goodra or anything like that. And also because you're probably wondering, we're going to assume the Turtwig you start with is like between level 10 to 13, and it's traded over to you at the start of the game. So that's it. Let's just go ahead and get into the team. Let's lead off with Torterra, our starter for today. So you're gonna just get the Turtwig off the bat. And yeah, you get it to level 36, and you've got that Torterra ready to run on out in Hisui. Its 109 base attack far outweighs the 75 base special attack, which honestly could be a detriment here. There's no Earthquake in Hisui, so Torterra's move pool is a little lacking of what one would say is its best move. I don't think there's too much to go over here since Torterra is the starter, so let's just get to the moves. So Torterra has got Bulldoze, Leaf Blade, Rock Slide, and Outrage. Torterra truly is one of those Pokemon that really misses having Earthquake in this game. Bulldoze isn't as strong as Earth Power is, but the 34-point difference between physical and special attack essentially closes that gap. Now, that said, Headlong Rush becomes available super late into the playthrough, like when you're dealing with Volo. You should probably be replacing Bulldoze with that. Leaf Blade at least maintains nice power without a drawback, though if you don't care about drawbacks, feel free to use Woodhammer. Then Rock Slide is a nice Ice-type coverage move. And Outrage is just here to have one last different move on the set, since Torterra isn't exactly the picture of coverage. Next up, we've got a Sinnoh favorite somehow making its first appearance on a best team for this game.
The Great Staraptor!
Starly is one of the first Pokemon you encounter in Hisui alongside Shinx and Bidoof. So using it makes a ton of sense, since not only is it good, but also it's available so early and easily. Starly will evolve in the Staraptor by level 34. So right around the same time, you're going to be getting your hands on Torterra. It's never been a Pokemon well known for its coverage, but it's definitely been well known as the best early game flying type across every generation. Come on, 120 attack and 100 speed? That's borderline starter Pokemon stats on something you can get just as early as one. The Staraptor moveset for today is Brave Bird, Aerial Ace, Giga Impact, and Close Combat. Brave Bird and Aerial Ace are on the set together just to give you options. If you're on the verge of being knocked out, obviously you don't want to use Brave Bird, so pull out Aerial Ace instead to prolong Staraptor's usage in battle. Giga Impact is the best normal move it has, so I had to include it for the sake of some powerful stab. Finally, Close Combat is a legendary move in Staraptor's pool, and I sort of feel like no set for this thing can be complete without it. That's just facts. Here on the team up next, we've got one of my favorite Pokemon to pull out for a team, Heracross. It can be found either in trees or as an alpha in the Obsidian Fieldlands. It's up to you. Heracross is the only other bug type aside from Cleaver really worth using in Hisui. And considering there's no other fighting type I really want to use, Heracross just really checked off plenty of boxes. It continues to build upon a very physically heavy team we have, with 125 base attacks splattered in. I will say, before we get into the moveset, I do really appreciate Heracross being in the trees in this game. I wonder what happened in the transition from Hisui to Sinnoh over the years that made you need to cover these trees in honey in order to find anything hanging out in them. That's just my random thought for the video. Megahorn, Close Combat, Shadow Claw, and Swords Dance are Heracross's moves today. I'd argue that you guys probably saw this set coming. Megahorn and Close Combat are obvious choices, and Shadow Claw was a nice one to include as well for the ghost types out there. I wish it had Night Slash in this game, but it is what it is. Finally, Swords Dance is there to make this fighter bug even stronger. and with the power it already has behind it, that's a nice boost to have. Some other ideas for coverage could be Stone Edge for flying types, High Horsepower for poison types, or Outrage if you just want power. The choice is really up to you. Alright, next up, we'll make this one quick. Dusknoir is on the squad. An underrated Pokemon in my opinion, and one worth using on a team if you want to get some strong coverage out there. It's available in the Cobalt Coastlands as a Dusclops, and you'll just have to acquire a Reaper Cloth to evolve it. Not too hard, right? It has base 100 attack, and then a couple of defenses at base 135, so it can definitely take some hits. That's all you really need to know about it. So let's get into the moveset. So this Dusknoir set is all about coverage, Shadow Sneak, and the elemental punches. That's it. Unfortunately, Dusknoir just doesn't have a good physical ghost move in this game, so I had to settle for Shadow Sneak. Though I do have other ghost type representation on the team due to this. As for the elemental punches, you know how I feel about coverage, and Dusknoir is a Pokemon to task with that thanks to the high attack stat. You want some coverage, right? Well, this is it. How about we touch upon yet another underrated Pokemon? So many of you have told me you like using Octillery in this game due to the coverage it gets, and how easy it is to find one. There's actually an alpha suctioning its way around the Cobalt Coastlands, so you can probably get it right at the same time you start to get Dusknoir. It's got rather average stats, but they're also very consistent, as you can see on screen. Sometimes that's all a Pokemon really needs. Consistency. When you can offer some sort of coverage, as we're about to get into, it's honestly a decent trade-off. Now, this underrated Mon brings us Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Sludge Bomb. It's a continuation of coverage from Dusknoir, except this time on the special side of things. Hydro Pump is the strongest move you can use, but if you don't want to have something with lower accuracy, there are other water type options. Ice Beam and Flamethrower are really great moves to have access to when you can get them, so running those out there pays off big time. Finally, Sludge Bomb is that all-important fairy coverage, though it works for certain grass types too. It's time for the last team member, and it's another former best team member like most of this team. Bronzong is an actually solid Pokemon that's worth using when you've exercised some other options. Like, it's not my first choice for a Psychic or Steel type in this game, but when we're doing something like this, where we're not repeating Pokemon, it's a good choice. It's our second special attacker, or at least that's how I built it. In reality, Bronzong is more of a physical attacker, but it can certainly be mixed. You'll be able to either just catch Bronzong, or get a Bronzor and evolve it in the Coronet Highlands. It's relatively easy to get, so making it the final member was an easy choice. So you've heard my reasoning, now let's check this final moveset. Our final team member has Flash Cannon, Psychic, Charge Beam, and Shadow Ball. Flash Cannon and Psychic are for stab damage, and they're damn good moves. Charge Beam is the electric special move we needed to complement Dusknoir's Thunder Punch. And finally, Shadow Ball is our special ghost type move. It's a pretty simple and effective moveset, right? Definitely what you would want out of the last Pokemon you add to the squad. Alright, as is customary with this game, it's time for what we do well against. Starting it off, when you face off with Cleaver, you can use Staravia to some success despite Cleaver's rock typing. Then with Lilligant, you can do the same thing and pull out Staravia. Not too hard. Arcanine will be handled by your newly caught Octillery. Electrode and Avalugg are for Heracross, as its two stab typings can drop them pretty well. I mean, as we know, you can even beat the Nobles without any Pokemon if you really want to. As for the other little battles, just use your strongest Pokemon. You're not afraid of a Pikachu or Munchlax, right? Come on, I know there's no way. Now, when you battle the Misfortune Sisters, you'll have Heracross handle Abomasnow, and then Bronzong can leap all over on Toxicroak. It's really going to be stupidly easy. As for Gengar and Rhydon, just work with Octillery and any Pokemon that uses a ghost move to take them both out. The battle with Benny remains a small challenge, but his Gallade, Gardevoir, and Mismagius can all be handled with a ghost type move. As for Sneasler, go ahead and drop it with a Stab Staraptor attack. So finally, you've got to battle Comedo. Torterra can, in theory, take out Braviary and Golem, But really, just use Octillery to take down everything but the Snorlax. That's left for Heracross. So now already, we finally got Volo to once again deal with. Cynthia's ancestor is just the worst to deal with if you're not prepared for it. We don't actually have a fairy type move on this set, which can make dealing with Spiritomb a little difficult, but not impossible. After you overcome it, you just gotta handle the rest of this team, which isn't hard. Roserade and Togekiss can be handled by Octillery. Ice Beam is going to be your friend there. Arcanine too. Though if you feel like you can trust Heracross, it'll be able to close combat through to victory. Garchomp will fear that Ice Beam as well. But you can outrage with Torterra if you'd like. Finally, Lucario is best handled by Heracross as well with its close combat. It eats hits from Lucario better than Staraptor or Dusknoir would. So rock it out. It's going to be tough, and you may find yourself wanting to change up moves from what I offered. I wouldn't blame you if you did, as taking on Volo is just such a difficult matchup. However, once you've overcome him, you've effectively won your Hisuian journey from a battling standpoint. And that's it. What should be possibly our final Legends Arceus best team is put to bed. It's been a fun journey in this game, and I'm honestly going to miss it a bit. But thankfully, as the year goes on, as we lead in the Scarlet and Violet, I'm sure there will be more to discuss with this game in the future. But for now, I'm done. Thanks for joining me on this best team journey. And for all those of you who got through this video and everyone before it, I offer a very special thanks. You are the real MVPs. Welcome back to the outro, folks, your favorite part of the video. Thank you for enjoying another Mystic Umbreon video. We made it through the end of the 8th generation, and now we begin the long trek into late 2022 where Pokemon Scarlet and Violet await us. It's a whole new world we'll live in, but we still gotta catch them all. However, there's still a ton of videos to do and experiences to have until then. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and the Mystic Umbreon Shorts YouTube channel. If we get the 10k followers on TikTok, I'll be doing a viewer's choice video. If you like Genshin Impact, check out my Genshin channel AWHILE. So if you all enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. See you next time.